Good morning, or whatever it is wherever you are. Alright, so I've got an ever-growing list of stuff to do. One of the things one of the things that's been happening is, I guess, it's not happening right now. Yeah, like that. Ever since I added the framework around this to have our sidebar, we've been having these weird selection events. And I think that might be a pointer events thing. Because there's actually, could we, even without having to mess with stuff? So we've got you. Okay, so you're probably our layout. And then there's this. Although we are defining this as an element. Oh, it might actually be, well, either of these upper layers. Now, when this event happens... Okay, I'm not seeing selection over here, so I don't think it's the top level. Can I find out what element currently has the selection? Window.getSelection. Selection object. So if I do that, anchor node. Leaflet tooltip pane. Whale. Child nodes. Offset parent. Leaflet map pane, which is not the map itself. Okay, so we have a leaflet map pane. Okay. Okay, so I've got my parent container. Oh. Yeah, so if this isn't selected, then it's not this. We have a control container and a map pane. We got a tile pane, a shadow pane, an overlay pane, a tooltip pane. Which is nonetheless causing selections in our controls. Yeah, so these things by themselves aren't even selectable. You are. But you should be in control pane. Control container. Now you should be marker pane, right? Yeah. So I thought I was seeing this on like first click. No. Yeah, so even the first click, or when selecting out of a marker. And this didn't happen before I put the wrapper around it. But it's not directly the parent element. Well, maybe parent element is affecting how it captures events. Okay, so this is the JavaScript level. I want a particular graphic element can become the target of pointer events. SVG only. Well, As the pointer events are not specified. However, pointer events may target its descendant elements if those descendants have pointer events set to some other value. Well, since these, shoot. Well, this thing is still none, and that thing is still none. I just have to set it for all the descendants. Oh, that was weird. Oh, because markers probably have it explicitly enabled, but the map doesn't. And what we are seeing is that when this can't receive the click, when some other element can receive the click, then it passes it through. But it is an issue where the default view isn't receiving it. So we would then want to do all right, get rid of that. Nope. Okay, so that is not by itself sufficient. Yes, this container did something to us. Well, one of these containers. So I guess there's always the brute force method. All right, fix that. Fix that. Okay, you do get some properties. I think all these tiny little properties are... Well, okay, so some of those are important. and they're important together. Oh, okay. Alright, so flux, grow, and stretch, I don't expect to have a problem with that. No, that still does it. Leaflet, leaflet. Ooh, you've got a bunch of stuff. And there's the inherited properties. Okay. So it is something in that group. So does that matter if it's a parent or a child? So let's see. All right, so we made that keyed. So that's an empty element. Now we still have to make some portion of this fill, I think. So can we, then it has to be html.keyed. Oh, what I wanted to do was I wanted to make u keyed so it didn't go away. Which probably means the contents will be okay. Alright, this is going to get big enough. I want to manage that. HTML.div. Alright, so we've got you, we've got that entire thing. List HTML. HTML. Oh. And you're empty. Okay, well that just doesn't work. Because we have an extra container. Okay, so now we're back to doing this probably. No, that's not it. So you have no immediate Elm UI attributes. Oh, that's not, Oh, no, now I have to do map that way. Because that has the Elm UI attributes. Okay, yeah, something about... Okay, and now I'm just curious. What that attribute is. With the power to destroy, well, destroy pointer events, I guess. Alright, so it was something on this S, which I don't know. Yeah. I don't know which particular thing. Oh, we have to clear it first. Okay, so it's not that. It's not that. It's not that. When we turned it all off, it did tweak it. Ew. It's like we're kind of... running through the list here. Really wouldn't expect color to do it. We know all of them do it. I guess could be some combination. Maybe I had some other stuff off at the same time. Alright, so we confirm that disabling all of these. Oh, okay, I guess I did have some other stuff off at the same time. Oh, but you don't get clicks at all now. Oh, touch action. Oh wait, that's a leaflet event. So it's still displaying okay. I'm not getting pointer events at all. Oh, right, I just don't have anything else. Okay, so we discovered that one had to be on, and that one had to be on. So that means it has flex basis? Oh. Oh, there's display flex again. That's weird. So they've got some sort of highlighting of how that's working. Oh, and display flex by itself wasn't working because this is also display flex. Oh, I misspelled selection. That probably doesn't help. Browser selection not possible. So you're entirely based on, well, we did have a solution to this. Really? That was based on not modifying these attributes, because I would have to do some, oh, this is, oh, the class is inline. These are from a style sheet, so I could probably force these off. And it seems like it's still working despite that. And we determined that, yeah, having that there. Okay, so yes, you're being determined by the parent element. Oh, I wonder if that's overriding a leaflet style. Or maybe leaflet is just assuming a style. Well, we know that the solution is just to put a plain old HTML element in there. Slightly disappointing that that's required. But it fixes all the highlighting issues. I had a note about you as well. Right, so since you're not an HTML ID, it's actually fine if this is map. And leaflet is still fine. Use plain HTML element format to avoid unwanted text selection. I mean, I never understood the root causes of that one. All right, so the feature we really want is to be able to go in here and click on something. Now, this is a little bit complicated because Leaflet normally expects you to have some element to click on, and this is just going to be a drag. So this, we have to figure out how to make our custom layer accept. So yeah, you can drag on there. Receive click events, first of all. And then we want to be able to do something with it. Oh, also, left some, let's see, is this in Elm or? Yes. All right, so on the pure JavaScript side, we currently have a customized, I think it's actually a grid layer. Point overlay, which is a customized grid layer. Add remove. A pop-up bound to this layer. But there's no specific I'm not sure what location you would pop up at. I guess you have to create the marker tooltip separately. Alright, so we can listen to events, but I seem to recall that when I sort of took a stab at this earlier, just adding a click event didn't quite do it. So that is defining a parent object. We want specific. We're going to want to do this on both of them. We can start with basic point overlay. Now, I don't know if it's going to actually get an event. Yeah. So Leaflet doesn't normally send events to you. Wait. Oh, oopsie. Interestingly enough, wait, did I get the right version? That still worked. Well, I don't know that we need the ID method anymore. No. So I already made another change. Git add. Huh. So having that other element in there also fixed it. Now I'm wondering if it's actually the height and width 100%, which we had to do once we did that. Anyway, how do I... Tile pane? Okay, those are images. Oh! Okay, so that's going into base layer, because a grid layer is normally a base layer. And there are things to adjust that. Pane. Default tile pane. Which might in of itself change that. Alright, so point overlay. No, I think there's a thing where if during the override it will auto merge options. Get pane, get panes. Following default panes, the different only in Z index. Yep, okay, there we are. So that's not over any markers currently. What about Donkey Town? Yeah, okay, it's still behind markers. And still not getting clicks. So this is a good thing because it's an overlay. but it's also not going to solve our problem. Bubbling mouse events. Wait, what are you? Okay, so we might need to look at marker. Dragging events. You're still marker. Alright, so interactive layer. Actually, didn't I discover that the interactive layer was like a virtual class, and really it's just the interactive property? You're the same event on the map. Okay, hasn't broken anything. But we also haven't gotten any click events. All right, well, a marker is an interactive layer. A marker also does not have an event handler. Right, it's probably a higher level event handler. Which seems to say that only gets all event handlers get registered at the top level. O or T. So they got some fancy handling going on there. But if we look at the relative DOM of this, they all get handled there. Which means we might have to do some leaflet reading. Interactive maps, add interactive target. Evented. Check depreciated mix-ins. Well, it is described as a mix-in. Pause animation. Map. Draggable. Layer inherits evented. Okay, so a grid layer is a layer. And interactive layer. And they say inherits, but it's really just a layer with an interactive true. False. Dragging this marker near its edge. Update on remove. Oh. Well, no, that's not a click event. Oh, so oh, actually, it's bind pop-up that does that. Which is a layer thing. Set options. New pop-up. Pop-up handlers added. This dot on. Oh, I appear to be using their own syntax for on. Just seeming like it's like a regular old HTML handler. Nope. That's not it. Layer dot include. Layer section. New pop-up options. Set content. Click. All right, how about this? Point overlay. Point overlay. It's a pointer overlay class. Huh. Maybe they don't have the automatic activation? T.get. Okay, so this is meant for things that have locations, unless you can do that. Oh, but it's not on yet. Okay, well that didn't fail it, but it also didn't actually pop up anywhere. Alright, so you also can't have pop-ups. Otherwise, treat it like a marker. Inherits from path at the new location, treat like a marker. E.lat long. Prevent map click. If not this pop-up, return. Do you have a map? Well, I need to get the object associated with this layer. Leaflet tile container. I guess that's for while dragging. Yeah, so those are the individual tiles. Not sure what you're for. Maybe marker layer? No, that must be in the marker pane. So you're translated and you're not. So these are not the events we're looking for. Well, there's one thing we should do. Oh wait, you don't. On add. What do I call it? So once we've got an element to inhabit, we fetch monuments. That ends up doing, we could probably add that. Layers, control, add to map. Control, add to map. "48-hour bursts." Okay, it has to load, but that gives us that all the time. Now, why? Not click through. Radio button is not, okay, so he's got like an overlay thing outside of the map element. But I specifically want a layer. Yeah, that's a different kind of overlay. There's an image overlay. Interactivity option. Hidden place. A layer was drawn on top of every other layer. Well, there is. It doesn't help very much. Leaflet pane. There's that mystery overlay. Nope. How can we tell who's receiving a event? Well, since it's handling the clicks internally. Event. Leaflet clickable. Leaflet interactive. Pointer events auto. Ah. Wait, that's the wrong thing. Icon leaflet interactive. Oh, this might be a very, very specific rule. Cursor pointer. But to give it pointer events, SVG path, image layer, a leaflet marker icon. Handle mouse out. Candidate hovered layer. Layer.options.interactive. Oh, but this is SVG. Marker. Image overlay. Canvas render. That might be more for hover events. Init interaction. On init icon. Oh, I need to have your element, which I don't have probably until Add class is probably a local helper function. DOM util. Okay, so we do have access to it. Oh, and add interactive target. Map.targets.stamp. Oh boy. But they're called interactive maps, so it turns out to be a terrible search term. All right, DOM util add class. That's one of the things we're going to need. And I might have to also do my own CSS rules for that. Oh, but what element is it? This icon. I could add it to each of the tiles because that's the only piece of DOM I actually touch. Which makes rewriting this as a single canvas look a little bit more attractive. Create tile. Tile. Which I'm pretty sure they only cover certain things. So I actually have to do my own rule for that. Which means I have to know how to select one of these things. At which point, I don't know if it really matters that I'm using Leaflet Interactive per se. Okay, well we got... No, we didn't get the interactive pointer. Did we successfully apply the attribute? Okay, we successfully applied pointer events. Don't know if we're getting there. Leaflet source. Add interactive target. Now it's this dot add interactive target. Layer dot add interactive target. Map target stamp target L. So it wants us to clean up our tiles as we remove them. Now we're not really in charge of removing tiles. So this might force me to go to a single canvas implementation. I was hoping to avoid that just yet. Creation. Oh, that was an event on the pointer events on the tile. Okay, did we successfully apply the attribute? Leaflet pane, overlay pane. Oh, we only have one overlay now. Oh no, we have this mysterious thing. Oh. Leaflet tile container, pointer events, none. And I don't seem to have correctly applied class name. Okay, well, there's one, but I don't... Oh, you have an internal tile container. That's bizarre. No, actually we wanted to... Okay, that does not help. Now what about our subpages? Overlay pane, overlay. We've got two things. Point layer has pointer events auto, which does not seem to be classed out. But leaflet tile containers have it explicitly turned off. But who needs to receive the click is the question. Overlay point layer, pointer events, tile container, pointer events. Okay, so, well, I mean, really, if this one gets it, I think that would be what we defined the event on. But now I might have to play around with add interactive target. Which might be the layer itself. But that means I have to have the element of the layer itself. Does it create that on startup? Container. Draggable false. Add interactive target. This dot map is undefined. So really, that you would want to do this in an odd, or in a add to map. Which actually means I've got a reference to this. This dot map is undefined. So, that was a layer thing, but those layers defined map for themselves. T is undefined. And this is where we have to switch our source out. Function stamp. Oh, it's probably not T is undefined anymore. Obj is undefined. Stamp obj. We saw that in interactive target. Target, stamp target, target L. We passed what should be an L to it. Unique ID of an object, assigning it one if it doesn't have it. Did you not have a container? Oh, you are a... Wait. So does it swap out container at some point? Because when we define point overlay, it had a container. It's now a different animal. Oh, it's a live object reference. The container was added later. Because we had an error, it doesn't exist. So this is where we may in fact need some sort of on-add event. Oh, we've already got one add event. Hopefully it can have more than one. Console.log arguments inhabit. So that adds it. This is all the stuff we want to do when we do that. Lego scrap. Thank you for the follow. Do we get ev. Yeah, okay, I guess I never do that. Because that was a total typo. I am trying to make a interactive map. Well, I've made an interactive map for a game world where you can put some data about where players have actually been living. And I would like to be able to click on here to find out who this is. This is a bug I just fixed here in my local copy. So I can go the other way. I don't know. I remember my names from the other day, which probably is off of here anyway. What were our yeah, I don't remember offhand. This one was a little bit ago. And the server might have to wake up. Because I'm running for cheap on Heroku right now. So, oh, well, somebody was born there. I might actually have data that old as my most recent data set. So I can go this way. I can go... Oh, right, no, these are the points from the data set itself. So I can go this way. I can jump to a point. But I can't find out who this is. Unfortunately, Leaflet does not seem to be designed to handle clicks on layers across the entire thing. It can do the markers, but doing this with markers was like... I don't remember if it was a this page is unresponsive scenario or just so slow it wasn't really usable. because every marker is a DOM element, and well, at least one DOM element, and that is doing a couple thousand of those is not performant. So right now I'm trying to figure out how the heck do I make a layer interactive, which is doing a lot of hacking around. So this thing had a map property. I'm going to have arguments, so we're not going to be able to do this, which means we're not really going to be able to run this function. Although if we did crash, it would tell us what a point overlay looked like at the time. Yeah, so we crashed. Okay, so it does have a container now. Oh, it does get... and the map is an object. So once it's added to the map, it has that, which means this call may actually succeed. Although we actually have some evidence here that it did not succeed. Oh, that was something else. Okay. And that does it. Which means we should then on remove. I think it's removing. It's way down there, but it's there. And will that get us by without any crashes? Ooh. Well, I hope the system's taking care of that. Because it's already decided you don't exist. Maybe there's like a before remove event. Alright, we get a click. It understands drag, so that's good. Alright, so we have a callee, which is okay as a function. So this is just our first argument. Container point, lat long, which is... I might probably want to know something about our scale. Although zoom should be sufficient for that. So we can pot, you know, like in this mess, you might want to select multiple points. Target is our point layer. So we have a lat long already converted for us. So where did we do... I guess I should move this down to the other events. Wait, are you a different object? No, you're the require recent lives. Which is why we were doing this down here, but... this keeps the events together. Alright, so event.lat_long is what we want. That's going to give me latitude, longitude. We know this is on a point overlay right now. I might eventually, I'm going to want to reuse this stuff on anim overlay as well. And on some other things. Also, I think this was not actually our issue. Oh, we'll get it working here. But we are going to want to have okay. And you Okay, let's just have the options. Okay, that's all our data. Yeah, so it was 11,000 points in this sample. It's a bit. So you have a birth X and a birth Y that is in there. And I guess I'll worry about the zoom later and just start looking for exact matches. Data. I guess I could call this a filter. Huh. So now I'm wondering if you can do one-off pop-ups. Does that be like a really easy way to... Well, we can console log will do it, but probably what is it in JavaScript? Is it filter? And then Ruby is select. I called that point, I think, when I was drawing this, but I called the data point. Naming is hard. The center of the click. Point dot. Oh, but you. Oh, that's all I was printing. You, I'm pretty sure, were fractional. That is, latitude is the Y. Birth X equals X and point dot birth Y equals Y. Need an explicit return. Data is not defined. Oh. Well, happy early birthday. Oh, I just copied that. Layer dot options dot data. Which I mean, I should probably be checking a little bit more about that. Why don't I believe you? Okay, XY. We looked at all of our data earlier, which as long as they're sort of comparable. Nan. Well, that doesn't help. Oh, event. That was the wrong choice. Okay, so those are integers. Oh, maybe, yeah, this is where I need some selection range. Okay, yeah. It's a big blob, but you can still hit a point that is not exactly there. So this is why I need to be a little bit looser at distance. So what do we get in event? I might have to ask the map what the zoom is. That's a browser event. It was the same leaflet ID. There's a tile zoom. That's not exactly what we need. So we probably have to do like map.getZoom. Okay. So we need layer. And that is going to be, So we have a point. Actually, and I dropped my event. We also get the screen coordinates, I believe. Which are already in pixel space. Container point, layer point, they're the same here. So what I might want to do I do something a little bit like this. Origin. Oh, but you've got a tile size. Wait a minute, that's a little bit different. Point northwest, point southeast. Convert that to lat long. Yeah, and then that's kind of what we're using to do that. So we want, but we are pushing these points. So point is the chords of the tile times the tile size. So that is the world coordinates. But this is kind of... No, it's tile coordinate times tile size. That's the world pixel coordinate. This is the screen pixel coordinate, I think. Was I printing that out? Must be the event. Yeah. Yeah, that looks like corner. And presumably there's a translation method for that. So I want to take those coordinates. I need to get points. Now that's a world space point. So we got center. I don't really need the rounding. So we're going to have... oh, and hey, padding is going to be a very similar thing. How many pixels around do we want to allow for a click? It's kind of hard to tell how big this area is. Center.x. Actually, coords would actually work. Because it's the screen location now. And then we just work from there. And then we need to translate you using our zoom factor. But that is world point. We need to know if maybe CRS can't do this. Projects geographical units. Lat long to point, point to lat long. Projected bounds. Yeah, so only the map is likely to have a screen offset. Get zoom scale. Just say geographical coordinate is the pixel coordinate relative to the CRS origin. Layer points to lat long. This is a map method, so it looks like we're just going to have to get the map. Layer. All right, map dot layer point, which I guess, to be clear about that, we could actually use layer point to lat long. And we have new that. Okay, I don't need that, don't need that. We're not doing anything with time right now. This goes, all right, so we're not using that, not using that, not using that, not using that. Oh, you get the return. Oop. That was interesting. So if x is between and y is between, there's no way we'd have a syntax error doing all that. And there we go. Invalid lat long object, nan. So it's only one of them, interesting. Oh, here we go. Right, because it's a lat long, so that's going to be the order on it. We still got accords. Okay, now if we zoom out, we would expect to hit more points. So that seems like maybe not a, well, at maximum zoom. And one thing about this hand cursor is I don't really know where the center is. Well, I guess I'm going to be using a window regardless. Or where the selection point is. Oh, okay, we know where that point is. So it looks like it's right about in the crook of the thumb. So I might want a smaller window. Yeah, because we like go out here and now, oh, I was just looking at the cutoff version. That's a bunch of points. Yeah, I might need to limit that to 100 or so. So we don't overload our UI. All right, so that feels like it is working. All right, so we get a hit. We can't really display 100 names. Although, actually, this is enough. Getting interactive and getting the click handler is enough work, and we probably need to stop there. And this is still only in one layer, so we have to abstract it a bit more. I'd like to see this working. Okay. Do we need pointer events? Now that we've got interactive stuff going. We do. But which one do we need? Apparently that one. Apparently both of them? Oh, no, it's because I removed it here. Okay, how about you? Okay, so it's actually the tile container that needs it. And we still... No, actually, this is this cursor. And then if we go out to here... I think Leaflet might actually be doing something explicit to... So I guess if I want to be really fancy, I could actually have this change to a pointer when it goes over a point. You have to be watching all the mouse moves. Typo. And actually, here's a little... Oh, I still got the remove handler in there. Okay, it still only fires once. That is actually map UI. Make point overlay register click handler, and yikes, that took most of the morning just to figure out that one little thing. Leaflet command subscribe. So actually, I guess this would be where we might want to register that, really. So all this stuff stays together. Although, well, the function might need to move somewhere. All right, and are we good with that? Yes. So we want to format that, and the data itself should be fine. Now I guess I could have just sent the, well, right now I'd have to redo some of the coordinate conversions in Elm if I could send the converted box. But I've got the data here, so I can go ahead and do it. What did I call this one? Focus on one thing, display results. And that was the data from that particular thing. Message.life. Oh, that was focusing on a single. Message.lives. Yep. So we're trying to make this look like the regular responses for convenience. Of parsing. And then leaflet.elm. So an event. And probably going to have to pull out some abstract. Well, no. What type do we use for display results? It's data life. Right, because we rerun the encoder, and then, oh. So you're actually going to be... Well, no, this is the event we send back. The decoder is going to grab that as a value. Select points, decode.field data as now I have a case that we don't handle. Data.life. Map UI event. See, does that handle the decoder failing? Well, we're already doing decoding, so... Okay, got to compile. Map decode error, the field named data. I guess we're still console logging from the JavaScript? Yes. Can I... Oh, nope, not data. Your lives, which has data. Nope, field data, index 0, field expecting an int. Well, that's just going to tell me that. And decoders, decode field, decode.and then. What if we... this will break everything. would it give me well, that's the wrong place. Because it decodes that one field out and then does that. Decode field. Decode dot value. Decode dot and then. Actually, I can probably put this down here, because it's still the same value. Although that doesn't... No, you might be a map. Yeah, you just print up succeed. This was decode dot and then throw it away and return that. Well, that's not helpful. Okay, it always says object. Array 36. That should be the same format as, well, a couple things wrong with that. Lives. Data array. But all you give me is internals. We successfully decoded kind. So it's at least partly right. How about... Well, to decode this thing... But debug log is not useful. Field lives, field data, index 0, field lineage. Oh, I know what happened here. So I took in all the data, and I was like, well, we need to color this. So I just turned it into a color, which is not so great if I need to send it back to another program that's expecting the standard format. So I need to not be so lazy about how we handle this. And it will just ignore these extra fields. Oh, wait, that did break something, though. Typo. Okay. Click. We're done with this. We are now have this here. So I want to do actually something just like this. I don't necessarily need to display results. It's interesting though. Now the other thing this has to do, which I don't know if I have a... Well, no, let's just make sure that we're open. Oh, this actually starts to make this a little bit too long. No, model's fine. So ensure that's open. Oh. What? Okay, wait. So we'd also have to turn on the search layer. But maybe I reloaded too fast. That should have at least popped up in the sidebar. Okay, there we go. So now we can, and I probably want to limit this on the JavaScript side. Because if we were to pull all the way back, we'd also get blocked. Yeah, a little bit of, well, had a lag, but it handled it. What a nameless. Yeah, a little bit of lag there. And displaying nameless doesn't work so well. What was my sort order here? Oh, because I was putting those in the search layer. So yeah, I need to have something they can throw back to display that. Oof, yeah, all those DOM elements are slagging everything out. That should be a smaller set. Yeah, I wanted it out here to give you a little bit of context for where you are, but definitely, all the results is too many. So what do we have in JavaScript to deal with that? We have a take is a common one. No, it's gonna have to be some variation of like slice. That cuts off to okay. The 2-2 was weird though. Oh, because it's absolute indexes. Okay. And if well, this is a result set, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, it doesn't modify it. So send back at most 100 points so that we don't kill ourselves. It just happens to hit a bunch of nameless people. Alright, so we've got, oh, and we need to get back to turning on our overlay layer. Of course there's a Ho family. Now over here, Dominic. Was that 2 Dominic families? Ah, that was the Shins. Or those nameless Shins. Yeah. So the Shins were... Yeah, those are separated by several hours there. All right, but just getting that was a bit of trouble. So move it down there. Yeah, actually, all of these are starting to get kind of big. Send list of hit points. Back to Elm. All right, and Elm needs some way to control the sidebar. Well, no, control the sidebar to control the search overlay, which I could also use to add like a close button in here. So right now we can receive event, and then really I could just tell it to toggle that, and then that will have some of the same effects. But then it'll be a duplicate. But we'll surely get an event back. Set view focus. Oh wait, display results. Well, that sets the points. That might still be useful to get a better sense of how big our selection area is. But I'm pretty sure we need a new event, which for protocol compactness we probably do true false. Kind. Search overlay. Do we have? Yeah, bool is a JavaScript type. It's just a question of what it gets called. Is it bool or boolean? Apparently it's bool. Set view focus. Probably going to be a simple thing comparable to this. I might want to actually make this a general overlay thing at some point. All right, so overlays. Did I just have a? Yes, I think. Well, it might be completing this. Yeah. If message dot status add to map. And what is it? Just remove? Add to and remove, I guess. Should remove it from whatever, I would think. And then we trigger that. So the only thing that does that right now is when we receive select points, it's going to be command.batch. and a leaflet dot we have to add that to our exposure. Maybe command should have a enumerated type too, just so it's parity. Seach overlay. And then I must have completed it in Map UI. Maybe I should sort down the nameless. See, so right now we are right, because the original call is in most recent. Well, most recent's not a terrible way to do it. So the search overlay is on. We just haven't put anything into it yet. So I kind of like the idea that this is in control of what we're doing, but it does seem kind of silly. Oh. But those points, if we use them directly, have the colors assigned. Whereas the ones we send back, oh, we're already doing that. So we would have to turn off this. So it's a layering issue. So I probably want to arrange those layers where we add them. Search is a layer group. Oh, does it have to do with the order it's added to the map? Well, actually, this is really it's either a pane thing or a z-index thing. Map panes, get pane, met pane. So they're all overlays. Rise on hover feature. Set z-index on every layer contained within this group. Of a grid layer, of the marker, image overlay. This is a method, not an option. The explicit z-index of a grid layer, tile layer, assign z-indexing, so order is preserved when switching them on and off. Default true. So otherwise, it would be add order. And that's a control layer, control feature. Marker images of the marker. Overlay layer. Image overlay. Image overlay. Layer group. Yeah, so you only seem to have the method. Probably should have a variable for this. Set z index. All right, so the overlay pane is 400. Pop-up pane is on top, so we want to be like 450. Oh, it was a smaller selection. Well, it gives us a better sense of how big the selection area is. So I may have to disable this on our control. Layers control. Now, the order that they just happen to get added in might do something here. It's taking the clicks. Because I made, well, what did I do here? I made all point layers pointer events, which is required. Now, if we did a search, but only this one has the click event, if we did a search normally, we would want to be able to go out here and select these points. So we need to bubble or pass on the event if we don't handle it, I guess. Bubbling mouse events. Trigger the same event on the map. This marker. Path. If stopped or is false, all it is a return. Now this is just targets I options. Original event stopped, or bubbling mouse events equals false. Return. That's not it. Is it? Bubbling? Yeah, there's bubbling and there's capturing. And the return value can have something to do with it. Use capture. Event.return value. No. There's jQuery return values. Yeah, I don't want the return value property. I want just what if the return. Returning false from the function will abort the effect of the checking. We'll just run the function and lose its return value. Won't return any value, although do alert returns. It's true the action will perform. Checkbox. So that's only for native events? Yes, there's the browser level, and then there is, how about, okay, type fun on event map, fire, listens, fire once. Not a lot of information there. No. Okay, well, that's DOM event on document event name. Function. Alright, well, this is something that does bubbling mouse events. Marker. Path. Map equals evented dot extend. Targets fire. E dot fire DOM event. Type equals E dot click. Synth pre-click. Mainly for closing pop-ups. The layer the event is propagating from and its parents. Okay, for the context menu, original event, not equal to key press, is marker. Targets fire. Okay, so it's not you specifically. Okay. That's target. I guess we really want to know this. Oh, and we need to only fire that if we selected something. Oh, mouse move events. So we got 2 clicks on 2. Yeah, we definitely turn on. Actually, I should probably do a checkpoint on this. Okay, so playing with that. Yeah, okay, so the z-index is actually a thing we don't want right at the moment. And bubbly. Okay, so this is the search overlay thing. And then I want to go back to where we fire this. We are click event, and we want to say if hit dot length greater than 0, Because if we're out here, we don't care. All right. Now I do need to put back. We don't have this problem unless we do our z-index. All right, so we got mouse down, mouse up, pre-click, click. And we are indeed only seem to be looking at one thing. They use that a lot. Okay, there we go. Oh. Targets.length. And its parents. Find event targets. Is hover. Just dragged an object. Target.listens. The thing we clicked on doesn't listen to the click event. But it's still pointer interactable. So this is where we need to do our functional abstraction. So I got all my event handling stuff here. Well, I mean, technically, oh, this just, oh, because these are all map things. The map doesn't exist yet. Well, okay, so we can't actually do this. We still probably want to define you somewhere else. Is that... All right, so point overlay dot add. Well, actually, both of these. Then we do have a sort of object here. Oh, was I able to reference... Okay. We were using target, so that's all good. Point overlay. U. Create tile. Update tiles. And then when we add this, on add, eve.target. Oh, we do use it here. And of.target.on, click. All right, so the interactive target doesn't exist when we get the remove event. You know what? If it's not visible, it can't get clicked anyway. Oh, this is going to happen every time. And then what is overlay search focus marker result points? Point overlay add to so you're going to need all this stuff too. You don't need recent lives. Now I think, well, I might need to add something to make sure it's bubbling properly. Oop, syntax error. We lost a function. Uh-oh. Point overlay click. Okay, I got you. Anim overlay.target. Oops. All right, so we are getting 2 clicks. Oh, I might want to actually send a 0 to clear that. Map container, point layer. Oh no, that's like the map. So do we only hit one thing in the overlay? Because we should have... overlay. So we got 2 actual things. Visible. They're both point layers with the same Z index. All right. You don't have a container yet. L dot dom util dot add class all right, points. If we select something, but they have the same Z index. Which isn't doing diddly squat. Because they're both Z index 1. So this must only work once your container exists. That was only on layer group. Layer group, marker, layer group. This dot invoke, image overlay, grid layer, layer dot and layer dot set Z index. Oh, point layers are yeah, they're also, no, they're not layer groups. Update Z index. Image. What actually sets it? This .container.style. That's what the grid layer uses. Now these appear to be only using like internal Z indexes. So this is within the overlay pane, which is the actual issue here. Container equals target. Well, if we've got two of them and one of them's 1, okay. Oh, I guess, did that make any difference? Okay, yeah, it did. Why is that so faint now? Oh, that also draws it lower. Although this thing is now always getting the events. Well, actually, no. If I did a search and clicked on the results, it would narrow it, but would it also break the search? So, naming is hard. So your container we can't always do that because not all of them are interactive. Let's remove this as a possibility first, or as a factor. Okay. We don't care about that. So for these specific layers, point overlay, result points, once they actually exist as things, container, and point overlay. Oh, actually, I can set the class name as I create them. Say, surely there's a way to do this. Anim overlay, already has. Oh, and then you don't do that, and you don't do that. All right, so you can't select a point within results. That could probably be a little bit smaller. Oh. Yeah, so if you get the right spot, you can get more than one, but that allows some precision here. And we can still get a whole bunch of people from farther back. But we don't, still not sure about the select zero case. I don't think that matters anymore. Oh, wait. I might still have one issue there. The actual draw order, yeah. And it's gone. So this is, there's nothing to actually guarantee that it's higher. Because you can only get that. The search layer after adding this. So unless you're like toggling it or something. Oh, that did move, okay. So this was moving it down. Right, this is applying it to, in theory, the animated layer. And this is where that gets proven wrong. So it does work on there. It doesn't use time as a selection factor yet. Selection factor for the animated layer. So you were allowed to call this. Didn't seem to be doing much good. Alright, so the order of events here. Let's fix your bugs. As we do that, then we switch over to you, and that does not do it. Not on add. Eve dot target and it might even be able to be like 2 or something. Okay, so we do that. We switch you. Okay. Okay, we missed a new line there before. So this is applying to select off anim layer. This is also where we fixed Z ordering. I think. Or it was just kind of working out before. All right, well, that was less features than I was hoping for, but it's still a big one. So once I get this updated to the main map, you'll be able to look around and see who the heck all these people are. And see, that's Dominic Town. Dominic Shin Town. And this was the Demonico family. And the Lean family. And it was a nameless Eve and a name. Am I missing? Oh, I didn't turn off my debugging. Oh, that's actually Leaflet. Oh, which means I'm still, yeah. I'm still using, and we did make changes to this. Source. Which I've been very sad because I don't have that file in the published version. Wait. In my okay, so my center isn't where I thought it was. It's kind of like the center of the cursor. Hmm. Okay, so these are... Oop. Oh, yeah, we might have a few of the kids. Now I'm feeling like I actually want a little bit more space. Yeah, mostly nameless. Okay. Alright, well, it's about lunchtime for me. That's at least one feature down. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody who hosted me. Do we have anything else going on? I'm doing that a lot. No, one life right now. And this looks pretty typical. Yeah, I probably need to go scouting for code again. Alright, well, how about... Looks like Haywire is playing some Factorio, which is what I've been doing on a lot of my game days. This is not a game day, unfortunately. So I expect to be back to that on Wednesday. So if you're looking for someplace cool to hang out, Haywire is... or no, that's Highwire. No, Haywire, yeah, that works. One of those weird spellings. Yep, that twice. Yeah, someplace cool to hang out. Looks like he's doing some pretty crazy grid-based designs. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye, and until next time. Oh wait, he may have changed username? Oh, yep. Slight spelling change there.